Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Saturday morning, November 2nd, and boy do I have something sweet in store for you, so just hang on and let's see what we have cooking.
Okay, we've arrived at the home of Gary's Cellars, and what we're doing for you today is we're going to show you how to make some good old-fashioned South Georgia homemade sugar cane syrup.
Hey, for my northern friends, family, and subscribers, what you see here is a patch of Georgia-grown sugar cane. You can see they have already dug some up, and they're already processing it. But as they started right at daylight, but we'll walk up a little bit closer here,
So that way you can see what a patch of sugar cane is. Trying to watch the deer tracks through the dirt here. But you can see how thick the cane grows, and it's hand
cut at the bottom with either a machete or just yard clippers. They just
clip it off and then shave off the
leaves and have the piece of cane or the stick left over, and then that's what they crush and process.
Okay, you can see after they have cut the cane and stripped the leaves off of it, you got just the sticks, and they hand load them on a trailer, bring them over to the mill, for the lack of a better term, and then just take them off the trailer by hand, 2 or 3 sticks at a time, and run them through the mill. The mill is driven by a PTO on a tractor. So we'll move around to the other side where you can actually see how it gets processed.
Okay, we've switched sides, and you can see them pulling the sticks off the trailer
and feeding them through a
set of drums that
just mash the juice out of that stick. And you see the stick coming up the conveyor that's going into the pile. The juice is run all through a series of pipes into that white tank. So that's where the juice goes to. I did ask what he done with the scraps. Mr. Seller said a couple years ago he had a guy that was feeding it to cows, but that was only 1 year. So now they're just disposed of and
just let to naturally rot in the field. I'll move up closer to the
actual drums.
I just want to stand back to where you can hear me.
When we get up there, you won't be able to hear me talk over the noise of the tractor. Feeds the boiler up to the level they desire. There's no manhandling of the juice.
we're gonna make some homemade biscuits. We use the lard. Normally you would use lard from a hog. It's just been killed. Add it to the flour. Last weekend I churned homemade butter. This is our homemade butter. And we use the buttermilk from the butter. As it separates when you're churning, you're left with buttermilk from the cream. And then I would use the buttermilk in my biscuits to make the homemade biscuits. Today we don't have buttermilk, so we're going to use milk. We're cooking in an old wood burning stove. You have to have a hot fire. Lots of wood. Back in the day though, their homes were kept warm because they all had cooked by the fire. So we have flour, we have lard, and we have milk.
Jackie Gerald from Gerald Farms. This is what I mean when I'm talking about taking your cane syrup and a homemade biscuit. That's fresh, hot out of the stove. I don't know if you can see the steam coming off of it or not. But this is how we eat biscuits and syrup in the South. Okay, Jackie Gerald, this is for you. Well, you can't beat that homemade cane syrup. So what they're doing here is a process they call skimming, just pulling the waste off the top that's being cooked out. The temperature is they slowly rise it up to 226 degrees, just trying to get the water out of it. That's what makes the syrup. So here you're just seeing skimming and just slowly raising the temperature to it. You'll notice there at the edge of the rim you'll see a lip, and what they're fixing to do is put in burlap cloth, and so that way when they skim to the edge, that burlap cloth will help soak up the skimmings. That way they can just take the cloth over to the sink and wash them out, and then they just keep changing the cloth out, and that's how they remove the skimmings from the syrup making. I'm waiting on the syrup to finish cooking, and it takes about 4 hours for it to do that. So I've stepped back outside. Just wanted to give you a little bit of overview of the location where we're at today. Here you can see the barn or the cook shack where they're cooking the syrup, and over here is an old-fashioned general store, because they used to host here on the property what they called an old-fashioned day, but they quit doing that, unfortunately, and that's where we're missing in America now, is the ability to see what's happened in the past. And that's one of my goals here with this channel, is to show America today where our food comes from, and syrup is just one part of the food we use. So I showed you the inside how the syrup cooks, and this was originally built in 2009. And it uses propane now as for the heat for the syrup, but originally when Mr. Sellers built this in 2009, he cooked with wood. And, so the wood shack right here is detached from the main building, obviously, because there's actual flame in here, so if it got out of hand, it wouldn't burn the whole building down. But if you can see the racks where the food would go, and you know the heat would go in the chimney pipe down there and follow out here, out the back, underground into the building. That was been disconnected, and now they use propane. So here is Mrs. Sellers' chicken pen. And I'll just give a shout out to the chicken channel. If you've never looked at it, Go look at the chicken channel on YouTube. They have short videos, but they have some beautiful birds. So go check out the chicken channel, and here you can see chickens just walking around, getting them something to eat. So they can roam around in this pen, into another pen over here. This actually where they can go in and lay eggs. So you can see the little door they can go into the house. If you can hear a chicken in here clucking. Got one laying right here. Another one in the house in there. Here you can see the syrup is boiling a little bit more. It's changing colors. It's getting hotter in temperature. You can see the gauge here is a little over 220 degrees. So what they're doing is setting up the pot that they'll dip the syrup into. It's got just a white cloth over a strainer underneath of it. So they'll dip the syrup out of the boiling vat and into this pot and just strain out any remnants of whatever might be left in before it goes into the syrup bottle itself. Here you can see they just turned the heat off, so you're fixing to see the foam really lower in the vat. It won't be but just a second, and action will start picking up as they'll move the liquid over to the other vat with the cloth I showed a moment ago and start pouring it in the bottle. So stand by. Here they are taking the syrup out of the vat, pouring it over that cloth we was talking about earlier that's got a strainer under into it and going into a stainless steel drum. What the gentlemen are doing there with the cane sticks is just tapping the cloth, just trying to keep the liquid moving, that way it doesn't settle up, and because if it does it starts getting thick. And that's what gives the flavor and the texture to cane syrup, is the thickness of it. It's just one of the good things for the texture. Okay, we've emptied the vat, just the last little bit pouring through the cloth in the strainer, so get ready for bottling. And here we are, pouring the final product into quart bottles and then smaller bottles. I don't know the size of the smaller bottles. But I told you earlier it had about 100 gallons of juice is what we started with. So after this 4 hours of watching this liquid and working with it during that time period and watching the temperature, you really have to watch the temperature or you'll overcook it and burn it. But out of that 100 gallons, it makes about 12% syrup. And that's pure cane syrup. Like I said a moment ago, no preservatives, no additives, no corn syrup, no sugar added, just pure syrup. So it's about 12%, so 12 gallons coming out of that 100. Just one of the tasty delicacies of living in South Georgia.
Hold
on, no, I'm good.
all these portions are on the glass. They're all the pieces kind of
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the finished product. A small jar of pure Georgia sugarcane syrup. No additives, no preservatives, pure, homegrown, homemade, good old-fashioned South Georgia sugarcane syrup. If you're watching this video, I hope you liked it and will hit the thumbs up button. We'll subscribe to our channel if you're not a subscriber, and leave a comment below, good or bad. Either way, I'm going to give away 1 bottle of syrup. So you'll have to leave a comment and we'll figure out how to make contact with each other so I can get your address and ship this to you. So if you want a bottle of good, pure, homemade South Georgia sugarcane syrup, leave a comment below. Thank you all for watching. Again, pound that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And just may God bless each and every one of you as you go about your daily lives. Take care and see you next time.